Hey fight fans, welcome back to the Fight Book. This is Indian Accent Guy back with another episode of Fight News. I did not make a fight news yesterday because we did not have enough fight news and I don't want to waste your 8 precious minutes by talking some bullshits or here and there. But as now today we have 10 new fight announcements and some big news from Ilia Topuria's next fight and Alexander Usyk's next fight. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. First, let's talk about new fight announcements, and first one is a big one, a women flyweight bout between number 2 ranked Manon Fiorot, who is coming off her title fight loss to Valentina Shevchenko, versus Canadian number 5 ranked Jasmine Jesuda Vicious. Jesuda Vicious is on a roll, riding a 5-fight win streak and coming off her round 1 performance of the night finish over Jessica Andrade. Currently, it is not confirmed that if it would be the headliner of UFC Vancouver, Canada, October 18th, or we will have some other fight to headline this card. Another possible candidate to headline this Canadian card is Ayman Zahabi, who is in a position to get a top 10 or even top 5 next. Anyway, next fight is added on UFC 321 pay-per-view, headlined by Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane. This one is also a heavyweight bout where Chris Barnett will return against Hamdi Abdulwahab. Both fighters are coming off a loss. Barnett coming off a loss from Nzechukwu, while Abdulwahab from Mo Usman. This is the third heavyweight fight for this event. Anyway, the next fight is added on UFC Noche 3 September 13th, and it is a middleweight bout. Zachary Rees, who is 3-1 in his last 4 UFC fights, currently coming off a win over Dusko Todorovic, will be taking on Cedric Dumas, who is coming off a loss to Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Anyway, the previously announced women's strawweight fight between number 2 ranked Tatiana Suarez versus number 4 ranked Amanda Lemos is now confirmed as the official co-headliner of this event, headlined by Diego Lopez versus Jean Silva. Then there is a fight added on UFC 320 card, and it is also a middleweight bout where Ateba Gutierrez will try to get his third straight win into the UFC when he take on Ozzy Diaz. Gutierrez is coming off his round 1 knockout win recently at UFC 318, while Diaz just came back into the win column after losing his fight to Yang Ming Yang. Anyway, I had told you that Joe Piper versus Abus Magomedov is also in works for this event, but now Joe Piper have confirmed that he has rejected to fight Abus Magomedov because he is behind him in the rankings and 2-2 in the UFC. Piper also did not like getting a fight so quickly after back surgery. Anyway, these were all the fights that are announced in the UFC. Now in the boxing world, we also have some big announcements. And before talking about the official fight announcements in the boxing world, we have a news from Alexander Usyk's next opponent. The WBO has now ordered Alexander Usyk to defend his undisputed world heavyweight titles against their interim champion Joseph Parker, who is riding a 6-fight win streak and coming off his 3 straight wins over Wilder, Yang, and Martin Bakole. Both parties have 30 days to agree a deal, then purse bids. Anyway, Turkey, Al-Sheikh, Riyadh Season and Sela are not interested in making this fight happen. Turkey had previously showed interest in making Usyk versus Itauma next. Anyway, the next big fight that Riyadh Season is interested in is the trilogy between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. Now, IBA President Umar Kremlev has stated that everything is in place for the Dmitry Bivol versus Beterbiev trilogy bout in Russia, and that now they just need the boxers to agree. And now the official announcements in the boxing world. First, Matchroom has announced their next card in Australia for Saturday, August 23rd in Brisbane, Queensland. This card will be headlined with a lightweight bout between Jake Willie versus Yusuf Dip. Willie just came back into the win column via round 1 knockout after losing to George Kambosos Jr., while Yusuf Dip is coming off 2 straight losses from Liam Wilson. The co-headliner of the card will be a women's super bantamweight bout where Sky Nicholson will try to get second straight win in pursuit of a super bantamweight belt after losing her featherweight title in March on Tyra Brown. Her opponent is an Indian fighter, Urvashi Singh, who is coming off her round 3 knockout. Then there is a super lightweight bout added on Golden Boys card on August 2nd, headlined by Duarte versus Sims Jr. Regis Paul-Reyes, who is coming off back-to-back losses from Devin Haney and Jade Cattrall, is back and he will be taking on Jojo Diaz, who is 1-6 in his last 7 fights, riding a 3-fight losing streak. Then MVP Promotion added 2 women's title fights in their Florida card on August 23rd. first, WBA Women's Lightweight Champion Stephanie Han will be making the first defense of her belt against Paulina Angel, and WBA Women's Super Flyweight Champion Jasmine Ortega will also be making the first defense of her belt against the number 1 contender Lynn Sandstorm. Then a lightweight bout is announced for August 30th in Ohio, where IBF number 9 ranked 27-0 Albert Bell will be fighting Keith Hunter 3 in a mismatch. And lastly, Romina Castan, at just 12-year-old, will be making her professional boxing debut this Saturday, July 26, tomorrow, at the Benito Juarez Auditorium in Veracruz, Mexico. While Castan will enter the ring, she will break the record for being the youngest female boxer to debut. Anyway, as we have started talking about tomorrow's fight, let's talk about Claressa Shield, who will be defending her undisputed titles tomorrow. She caught one of her opponent team members, the WBA light heavyweight champion Che Canile, in her open media workout, and it escalated fast. Anyway, if you don't know, Che is also making the first defense of her belt tonight. Anyway, after this altercation, Che is now the possible next contender for Claressa Shield, but Shield also have revealed that she is planning to have a baby next year. So if we are lucky enough, we will probably not see Claressa Shield fighting for a whole year. Then if we talk about UFC's tomorrow card headlined by Whittaker vs. Derrider, all 24 athletes scheduled to compete at UFC Abu Dhabi successfully made weight Friday morning. No drama at all. Robert Whittaker says he only wants to fight a couple more years, and his dream is to win the title and sail off into the sunset. He also revealed that his new teeth were paid by Uncle Dana after cracking his jaw against Khamzat Chimaev in his last fight. The co-headliner Peter Yan says on Media Day that he is no longer keen on Sean O'Malley rematch and wants to fight the winner of Dvalishvili vs. Sandhagen. Sean O'Malley also revealed that he is still delusional and still believes that he can beat Merab Dvalishvili in the trilogy. Other than UFC Abu Dhabi Media Day, there was the first press conference for Darren Till vs. Luke Rockhold event, where they both get physical in their first face-off. Moreover, their co-headliner Tony Ferguson has glowed the hell up since leaving the UFC. He is back with his hairline and tells Ariel Helwani that 90% of his comments are saying that he is washed up, and other 20% saying that he is gonna get knocked the F out by Sal Papi. Then there is Ilia Topuria, about whom I told you in the last video that he said he would vacate his belt rather than fighting Arman Tsarukyan for the title. On this, Arman Tsarukyan replied to him, "Imagine calling yourself a champion, but you are already looking for a way out." Arman Tsarukyan also shares a video where he was following a duck, calling him Ilia. Then some other random updates. Paulo Costa doesn't hold back on coward Khamzat Chimaev and says that whether it is in the octagon, a restaurant, or in the street, he will settle his business with Khamzat Chimaev regardless. Then Sean Strickland remains suspended by Nevada State's Athletic Commission, and a formal disciplinary hearing agreement will be held at a later date. Anyway, Strickland reacts after being indefinitely suspended from MMA and showed his desire to fight an exhibition boxing match. Moreover, per the Georgia State Athletic Commission, Cody Brandage's June 14th bout against Mansoor Abdul Malik has been overturned to a majority draw. Now Brandage's last 4 fights are win, loss, draw, and a no contest. Let's hope his next fight gets cancelled to complete this set. Anyway, Congress is introducing new legislation to amend the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act on Wednesday. The new bill allows for the creation of alternative system called Unified Boxing Organization, separate to the current sectioning bodies. The UBOs will be able to award championship titles similar to how the UFC operates in MMA. The bill also increases minimum fighters' payments and creates a national minimum of $25,000 for health coverage and for injuries sustained during a fight. And lastly, a sad news, pro wrestling legend Hulk Hogan had a massive cardiac arrest earlier today when he was rushed to a local hospital in Florida, but they were unable to save him. Rest in peace. Now you are again completely up to date with the fight world. Share your thoughts in the comment section, show your support, and then do whatever you want.